And welcome back. My next topic is the topic for, we have two topics for the day, and we're taking the very first one right now. Over the weekend gone, a Nigerian artist, a legend, a hip-hop legend, in the person of Ruggedman, was attacked at a Nigerian restaurant in South London by a group of unidentified men. We're going to talk about that, the impacts, the likely impacts or repercussions of that act on this developing music genre, Afrobeat, which is building fast, and perhaps discuss also how we can mitigate such incidences in the very, very near future. And in the studio to have that conversation with me is none other than broadcaster extraordinaire Adesope Olajide, Energy God, alongside talent manager and music consultant Steve Osagie. How are you doing, gentlemen?
Fantastic to be here, sir.
How did you hear the news?
Well, social media, WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I received videos via WhatsApp and social media messages that this had happened. And I hadn't even confirmed it until I spoke to you. So the first thing I thought was, wow, that it could go this far. Second of all, that it had gone that viral. The fact that it was being recorded in the second place meant there was an intent behind that.
Exactly, yeah.
And they probably wanted the world to see, you know, what was happening. So it was an instant sense of shame, an instant sense of disappointment, especially in the position that the Afrobeats culture, the Afrobeats genre is right now. And the one thing that's been associated with the genre is nothing but good times. It's been a place of fun and safety for women. You know, you have to think of it as this. When women are happy to be in a certain area, that makes that place comfortable. Yeah. Women have found Afrobeats a genre that makes them happy, dancing on the floor, meeting a lot of people that are not threatening, non-violent, and that has continued to resonate around kids, and that has been the tag that we've had. Now having a situation like this puts everything that everybody, particularly people like yourselves, have done for over 20-something years in this country,
behind the scenes,
starts to put it
at risk. There is obviously a history, or we are assuming, because I'm also being very careful not to speculate widely, because but the fact is, Ruggedman very recently has had this long-running issue with the artist known as Naira Marley, and born out of a comment he gave, a response he gave to Naira Marley when Naira Marley talked about his famous Yahoo 419 comments, where Ruggedman advised him not to toe that line. And subsequently, perhaps less than 24 hours after that, Naira Marley was arrested, and a section of his fans are of the belief that he instigated the arrest, which Ruggedman has come out numerously to deny. Now, if, and this is a big if this was stemmed from there, I don't want to believe Naira Marley ordered it, because it happened on the day he met his bail requirements in Nigeria.
He didn't have to.
You know, so I don't want to believe that.
I mean, most likely, I won't think he would be that foolish. And like you said, let's not make assumptions.
Yes.
But if there was anybody associated with him that thought they wanted to kind of show their allegiance in perpetrating what they did, what they don't realize is it affects everyone involved.
Adversely.
Everyone involved. It affects the artists involved, the industry involved, everybody's bag. You know what I mean? Because funny enough, I spoke to somebody yesterday that's not Nigerian, but is into Afrobeat. And one thing, a comment that he made, it was like a friend of his got married somewhere in the States. And everyone, just like the comment you made, everyone from the grandmother to the mother to the child, everyone was dancing. Everybody's perception about Afrobeat is just joyful, happy, and just it's somewhere that's safe for the whole family. But once you start to associate our industry with violence, and it's a perception, it doesn't have to be the reality.
Exactly, yeah.
Once people have a certain perception that, oh, this industry is going this way, then people that don't understand the industry or what really happened start to now throw out, all you would have seen in the paper was like, oh, Nigerian or Afrobeat artists fought or somebody got hurt or somebody got stabbed or somebody died, then listen, we'll be doing damage control from now for the next 20 years.
And if I'm going to put another twist to it, just a week before that, at the Ghana Music Awards, during the presentation, you know, Stonebwoy, and there was an altercation between Stonebwoy and Shatta Wale that involved Stonebwoy. He actually came to the event with a gun.
He was handed a gun.
Was it a toy gun? Was it a real gun? We don't know. But just the sheer thought of it, you know, a gun, you know. Now, if there's anything good that came out of that, they quelled it. They had like a peace meeting.
Absolutely.
And
peace conference.
and they quelled that. But a fortnight before that, as well, in Nigeria, an alleged fan of Davido was beaten up by an alleged fan of Wizkid, and they actually recorded this thing. And I don't know if you saw it. And posted it online.
Because said something against them.
Exactly, you know. And what I'm just trying to establish is appearing like there's a trend within a space of a month. You know, major players. You know, the names of major players have been linked to certain incidents revolving around their fans. Could this be a trend?
No, I think first of all, when a genre gets successful, when there's competition within an industry, be it hip hop, dancehall, Afrobeats, R&B, fans get excited, they get passionate, they take sides. In taking sides, it also filters into the media. The media should take a lot of responsibility in making these beefs popular and making people choose sides, because we enjoy a little bit of banter, we enjoy a little bit of competition, and we promote that a lot. Now with the fans taking sides, you're now dealing with a multitude of people that you cannot control how they react. Now people now start to do things completely out of character, out of, you know, what you would expect competition and just normal banter to be, and they take it to the next level. Yes, the minute the temperature starts to get higher, people have the responsibility to come out and let people behave properly. Hence why what Stonebwoy and what Shatta Wale did a couple of days after their height on stage was fantastic. Hence why what Davido and Wizkid did after the Dubai incident in Lagos and in London was important, not only for their fan bases, but also the genre as a whole. Now we've gotten to another point in this whole Afrobeats industry where people have forgotten about peace and the fans have gotten excited again. It's important, one, that the media and personalities within the media condemn this heavily. Second of all, that the musicians step out and speak publicly to their fan bases to stop whatever it is that can bring negativity to their names. I was researching a couple of days ago, and in 2016, it so happened that a club venue in Croydon by the name Dice had an instruction from the Metropolitan Police to stop from playing dancehall music. And it got so bad that the owner of the club initially adhered to that decision, but it became so difficult that he couldn't manage that after a while. I think some of the DJs came in there and played the records, and the police wanted to take away his license. So he had to take that to the MP that eventually took it to the media.
It became a political
thing. Issue, However, what the police were trying to say when they came out with a statement was that there were certain genres of music that was affiliated with violence and trouble, and they wanted to use that to close the door on dancehall. Fast forward to 2019. The incredible geniuses of Krept and Conan were just in the parliament 2 days ago, defending drill music and speaking on behalf of the young black entertainers that will not have anything to do if they completely shut the door on this music. They've got drill musicians that were told by the police that if they perform certain records, they will be arrested, and someone was locked up.
In fact, you're leading in the same direction right now. And let's talk about repercussions, likely repercussions. You've alluded to drill. You know, there are certain genres that, you know,
that was asked to be taken off YouTube.
Exactly.
The drill
Exactly. So what If this continues, what are the likely repercussions? What could be the likely repercussions for Afrobeats?
A lot of things. First of all, venues not getting
Shut
licensed
down.
to play a certain kind of music. Artists trying to come into the country that do a certain kind of music not being given work permit to come into the country. I mean, backstage, actively ourselves a bit. We played active role in trying to support and trying to push the music and trying to push the culture forward. I know how many times certain events have happened where you know trouble is going to happen, but you've gone around and you've spoken to individuals that, listen, this is our thing. Please, we're begging you, do not bring that here, because if you bring it here, it affects all of us. And people have heard or listened to us.
You
So
haven't
now-
even mentioned the most important thing. Artists can be labeled by the police officers as
Easily.
people that should not be allowed into venues.
Because
so
it
there's
creates-
certain artists that you
Are we having that problem in Afrobeats right now?
right
in the UK?
now, right now
Not-
in the
not-
Afrobeats, not
It could get- not
necessarily.
yet.
They
Not
haven't
yet.
had some names that they've completely blacklisted. However, if we continue in this manner, there will be names that promoters like Smade, like Toba, all of these promoters will not be able to put and advertise on venues because the police will say, listen, if this guy is being promoted, we're not
And
going to allow you
what
to have this concert
what-
here.
What is that venue in London that right now you can't do an Afrobeat or African events in it? Proxy.
Okay.
Because a couple of fights had happened
yeah,
in that
this is-
venue.
yeah,
Chairs
that-
were thrown. That now,
chairs-
and that was one of our major
yeah.
venues. You
Exactly,
could not-
especially for the mid-level,
Exactly.
3,000 capacity.
3,000
From where you are coming
capacity.
from,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
it's a nice
Yeah.
little section.
Yeah.
that you could
Exactly,
do. Now
yeah.
you cannot do an Afrobeat or an African event at that venue.
Troxy was crazy.
You are restricting the venues that we are allowed or we can use for artists to come and perform.
And now we're getting into the O2. If we're getting into the O2, 20,000 capacity whiskey, David O, Burner Boy, the last thing you want is for the promoters to want to have an event at such an iconic venue, the artists to have
And
a
to be
fan
worried.
base to go in there, but the police say that these artists cannot step on the stage in London.
All they'll do is they'll send a circular round to each single council saying this kind of music, this kind of artist is not allowed, because the council has to give a license before
They'll
you
shut
can
it
hold
down.
an event at any single place. And all that is required is for main media to put the wrong
That's
kind
the wrong
of
spotlight.
tag and press out. That is
The
literally
am-
that's
the
it.
amount
Do the
of work-
promoters,
Yeah. Yeah.
have a role to play in this?
Yes, they
in terms of
do.
dealing with this.
Yes, they do. The promoters, one of their most important jobs is relationship building.
Yeah, yes.
So not only do they build relationships with the entertainers, with the venue owners, but they also
The
build
street,
relationships
street.
with the fan bases.
And the street
I know.
particularly.
Yeah.
So they have a massive role to play. You have to be able to speak to people, even individually as we're here. We have to be able to speak to some of the fan bases and say, yo, you might not like what this person has said, what that person is doing. However, for the greater good
yeah.
of the community,
Please.
the success that we've had so far, the last thing you want is for everybody to suffer. What the work that the likes of Krept and Conan are doing right now, those boys must be commended. They sat down with MPs, with shadow secretaries at the parliament trying to prove the case that regardless of the lyrics of drill music, it's still a form of art and creativity for some of the young disenfranchised young black boys in the community. So you can't lock the door on everybody. But imagine if they didn't have the star power and the
And the
respect
popularity that
to
genre
be able
has.
to open
Exactly,
those
yeah.
doors.
Indeed,
They'll just
indeed.
completely blacklist drill music, not on YouTube, not on radio, da 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 da, and that's about it. I'll be surprised if there are any big drill stars that can really hold massive venues at the moment for like concerts. It will be very
It's going to
difficult.
be a bit of a struggle.
Yes.
If you look at this whole Ruggedman Naira Marley issue right now, do you still think there are embers still burning? Do you still think there are still unfinished business? Do you get that sense?
I hope not. I mean, you don't know what people's emotions are like, but I hope that they will look at the bigger picture of the harm that carrying on this narrative of tit for tat can take not just their brand, because they have to think about. I mean, I've always spoken about your brand and how that can affect you. You might not think now, but in 3-4 years' time, you could have a deal that Nestle or whatever
Family brand.
I mean, the one will obviously pay you a certain amount of money. Then somebody will just Google something that happened 5, 7, 10 years ago of a comment that you
And
said
the
or something that
internet
you're
never
involved
sleeps.
in. It never does, and your name gets pulled up like, oh, hold on a second, we don't want to be associated with that. You know what I mean? Like you said, social media, anything that goes online never
Ridiculous.
sleeps. Just, it might not be you, but because you are associated with it. And one thing Adesope said is very, very important. Those artists have to come out and speak against it, because if you don't say nothing, people think you either you condone it or you are okay with it happening. You have to, because I mean, when it did happen, I saw it. When I woke up, I saw the video. What I did is I called you. I called you because we care about the industry. We know how it can affect us. If we are behind closed doors, pushing as much as we can so that people appreciate and love the industry. What about those individuals that your name is being called? Then you even have a bigger role to play in it. You have to. You have to. If not, you get associated and saying, people will just say, you're okay with it happening. You know what I mean?
And I think this conversation is also very important because also of the critical period we are in the UK with a lot of, you know,
violence happening. In the last
knife crime.
in the
last
month,
week.
how many
last
week? How many
Four
teenagers
people
were killed?
Yeah,
4 people
and died.
have been stabbed and killed.
You know, and somewhere along that line, it appears, you know, gang and elements of entertainment seem to always kind of like, you know,
go hand
slip
in
in.
hand.
Or if the mainstream press decide to, you know, they just, it's an easy victim to point to.
One of the reasons why drill was really focused on by the media and a lot of people was that a couple of artists within the industry had some back and forth lyrically.
Yes.
That eventually spilled out of music and led to somebody being stabbed and killed. And a drill artist eventually was sentenced to life in prison.
Yes.
That alone
setback
immediately became an umbrella for the whole genre, where other young men and women were just trying to make good music and kind of like feed their
innocent
families.
majority always take
Yeah.
the can.
So exactly. So what we need to do is, yes, it happened. Thank God it wasn't fatal. Thank God no knives were involved.
And Ruggedman is fine, you know, it's
And whoever's done it, whatever happens, happens. However, it's time for calm heads to really just move forward. This is not about some mere beef. Eventually, we could get Ruggedman and Naira Marley in the same room tomorrow, where men straight away. Initially, that was what actually opened their conversation years ago. Ruggedman and hit Naira Marley up for some records.
Yes,
so
exactly.
that could still happen in the future. We don't want any stupid thing to completely mess us up right now. Where the genre is at the moment, currently in the United Kingdom, is probably one of the best positions to be at ever. And the last thing we want is a small minority to completely ruin it for everybody.
It's like an ink being put in water and everything going black. Literally, that's what could happen.
Boom.
You know what I mean? You know how actively you've been pushing it on your end. I'm going to places like Meeting where they want to be involved with the scene because they can see what is happening. And we're trying to say the value of Afrobeat and you guys coming into it, you can get so much value. Nobody wants to be associated with anything violent or anything negative. Once they get a whiff of that, they will just go somewhere else.
That's why we thought no better heads to bring in to have this conversation than both of you.
Yes, sir.
On a lighter note now, what's happening this summer? What's happening? I know your
Summer's loaded. No, the summer's loaded. Well, this weekend is the closest to summer. Saturday, I'll be at Northampton. That's going to be the Afrobeats clash. So it's going to be DJs from Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria coming together. The best of the best. Really shutting it down in Northampton. I'll be hosting that, the Energy God.
Energy God. Yes.
And on Sunday, the 23rd of June, is the legendary Nice. Live at Club Aquarium.
I did go. You are London, Abi.
Do you know the
funny
thing is, Nice is probably one of the few people that a lot of us within the media will really want to speak to.
Indeed.
For a lot of reasons. I had an opportunity to hang out with him last week, go-karting with Smade and Nice.
Who won?
And listen, the computer
glitched.
The computer glitched. Because I don't know how people would lap me. Because I was speaking.
You were lapped.
And I didn't see anybody overtake me.
You were the tallest and you most of the head, so you didn't have a
So he was speaking, and his comments on the social happenings in Nigeria alone is enough to fill an hour show here. The man has so much knowledge, and because of his lyrics, his music, there's a strong connection with the streets in Nigeria.
Indeed.
And because of his status as an entertainer and one of the icons of the genre, a lot of people have opened up to him, and he's very honest about what he's seeing, the governance, how people are living, how difficult it is. And I just thought to myself, forget the music, forget the culture. there's a lot that can come from NICE when it comes to
Indeed.
even the social information. And I think, you know, I
on
hope
Sunday, we're going to be on Sunday
we're
anyway.
definitely
so we're
going to
gonna
be there.
to
So live,
grab him into one room,
Club Aquarium,
and drag him in on
definitely
Thursday.
turning it up, man. So make
Awesome.
sure everybody should come out. Yeah.
And were you up to anything
No,
cooking?
the same. A lot of things happening in the background. Keep on pushing. I'm having a lot of conversation after I go back from Mayhem. in regards to
exactly.
everyone is so onto, like, listen, we want to be involved. We want to know what's
Securing
going on.
bags.
It's a big cake.
What? It's big.
Everybody wants a slice now.
And we need to own it.
No, that's what
And
we're
protect
doing.
it.
That is what we're doing.
We need to own
We're
it.
letting them know from the value that we're bringing and
We need to
how they
own
need
it.
to come in.
We
need to
You know
exactly.
what I
own
mean? It's no.
Ownership
We're
is
not,
everything.
we're
now.
not work for
definitely.
hire.
No.
We're not work for hire. We're not going to allow ourselves to lose it for 30 years like hip hop did before the likes of Jay-Z's
Grabbed
and
it
Co.
back.
grabbed it back. We have the opportunity to learn from the hip hop heads
Which we
right
have.
now and start with
Ownership.
ownership. We need to own Afrobeats and ensure everybody within the culture benefits and we don't sell out.
On that positive note, we're going to round this up. Hey guys, short notice too.
Thank you
No,
very
no,
much,
no,
sir.
appreciate that.
So much.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. And from one hot topic, we're moving on to another. The Nigerian High Commission had there was an attack on property at the Nigerian High Commission just a few days ago. And I have two people in the studio to, have a chat about that. I remember you can also join in the conversation by calling the hotline number that'll be popping on screen in the next segment. Stay tuned.